Good afternoon, everyone. About to get match day number 7 on the way here in the TKR TTCB T20 Festival 2026. Action in this first match will be between Central Sports Yorkshire and Preysal Sports Club. So here we have two captains, Samuel Rupnarain and Justin Gangu in the middle, as well as match referee Afraz Mohammed and Rajendra Purai. So let's have that toss now. Uh, Bowling first here. Any reason as to why?
It's a new pitch for us, so I think bowling first gives us a good option to see what the pitch has to offer. Looking at the weather conditions as well, it offers us a bit of comfort batting second.
And any changes from last match?
No changes to our team.
Thanks very much. Let's have Captain Rupnarain here now. What would you have done had you won the toss?
Also a new wicket for us. Hopefully trying to figure out conditions for the wicket as play as well and trying to restrict them as low as possible. Under 40 would be nice and having a chase in the end, but so goes it has happened that way, you know. So looking forward to put some runs on the board and hopefully defend it in the end.
Any changes to the team?
Just one, Antonio Gomez out for this game and in come Akil Mohammed.
Thanks very much. The news from the middle here is that Preysal has won the toss and elected to have a bowl.
So there you have it, folks, as we welcome you to the Queen's Park Oval once again. And of course, we're looking at the players making their way out into the middle. That, of course, would be the opening pair for the Central Sports Yorkshire outfit, as the GFM Central Sports Yorkshire, as they have been put in by Preysal Sports. And this, of course, is a central derby, if you want to call it that. They know each other very well. So this should be a battle among friends and neighbors, if you venture that far. But what we saw from Preysal is kind of consistent. Most people who, when they win the toss now, they opt into bowl first because they prefer to chase. And of course, in the second game of the double headers, that is often the case because everybody wants to try and take advantage of the due situation and not be caught. So the opening pair for the Central Sports Yorkshire outfit, the big fella, Kenal Lewis. Early in the tournament, he already blazed 100. In fact, you have to say he bludgeoned 100, a big 100 at that. And so now we're getting ready to see the action, and this is going to be Ronald Forrester to start the attack. Forrester with the big 0-0 on his back. And immediately, a good sensible cricket there from Lewis. They all knew that he's going to try and spunk the ball and hit it very hard. But so when he ups to push for a quick single, invariably it's going to catch almost everybody at the edge of the circle, a little bit on their heels or on the back foot. Ethan Gibson is his opening partner. And that's a good shot, but excellent fielding to deny them the possibility of a quick single. That is going to be so important at this stage. As you try to build an innings. You want to take every opportunity that you get to score. Just a little hold up there. The advertising board. Bertie's is, of course, one of our related sponsors for this tournament, and Bertie's products can be found everywhere now. And that's well played, but it might be out. And in fact, just at the edge of the boundary there, just trying his best to get on with things there, Gibson, but he has to go. A very well judged catch in the end, taken just before the ropes came. And Preysal will be happy with that. Marlon Richards, the man out there, doing the honors. So Forrester with an early breakthrough, and just what the doctor ordered. So Kofi James is the man making his way to the middle. It's so important to get early wickets when you make the decision to field first. That you don't, as a captain, you don't ever want to be second guessed by your teammates. Even though in a situation like this, it's a collective decision. Very rarely do you see captains making that decision on their own. And that's hammered away. It was in the air for a long time, but Kofi James is off the mark in an instant. But I suppose his heart might have been in his hand there, because it did leave the bat in the air, and just looking there was Ramlal, but it flew past Ramlal in a hurry. You could see he got under it, and he just opened the face enough to take it away from the man at short extra cover there, Ramlal. And slow delivery, well disguised, and James reaching for it. That luckily he didn't get a touch, but they got a bye in the process. So 6 for 1 at the end of over number 1. So Vishan Jagesa is going to pick up the attack from the pavilion end. And we've seen this a lot where they try to just change up things quickly. Was it last night? We saw 4 different bowlers bowl the first 4 overs. And so captains are trying all sorts of different things just to be able to, just trying to confuse the batsman and just don't allow any one bowler to be targeted. And a slight delay as the ground staff is just moving the advertising board out of the eyesight of the batsman. Operating from around the wicket, and again, it's just a ring on the offside there. So if you place it well, you can in fact have some success. But right now, James not able to pierce that offside field. And again, so it's like a recurring theme there. Those two, is the bowler bowls, James hits it into the offside, and the man at cover point does the fielding. So now they've added another player on that offside, and James decides he's going to become inventive, and immediately he gets outside the off stump, crouches very low, makes his body very small, and then gets under the ball, scoops it over the keeper's head, down to fine leg for 4 runs. And you're not going to find that in any traditional cricket manual. It's not a shot that the established coaches would recommend, but now and here we go again. That's another one from out of the modern book of T20 batting. The reverse sweep, the scoop, the ramp, and of course the loft that they just lifted over third man over the keeper head. All the same, it's 2 consecutive boundaries to end the second over. So it's 14 for 1 at the end of that over. So Forrester. And here he goes again. He just picks it up. He actually took that from off the stumps and just banged it away through the onside. And really wasn't that bad a delivery, but when you're in that kind of form, he just covered his off stump and freed his arms. So another maximum to the big fella, Kenal Lewis. And it missed out there, but you could see the intention. He's seen that big gap between the backward point on the boundary and the cover on the boundary. There's a fair gap there, about 40 meters. And he's probably thinking, if I can hit it, probably equidistant between the two of them, neither one of them will get around because he's so powerful that he will beat both of them easily. And again, he's going to square leg. That's the short side of the field. And once he gets it into the gap, there's no recovery for the fielding team. So another boundary to Lewis. And they must be looking at this and thinking, is this going to be another one of those days when this man takes over and just bludgeon the ball into all parts? And again, this time though, he may have to be satisfied with just a single. But you could just hear the big thump coming off the bat. When he hits it. And again, that's a good shot, James, this time, but that's brilliant fielding. And it's a chance of a run out. James probably just admiring the shot. Marlon Richards did very well coming across, picked it up in his left hand, transferred it, and had a shy. But I suppose Mango is not in season, so his aim isn't as deadly as it is normally. And he just missed. But you would have probably bet your house that he would hit from there. Brilliant bit of work from him. Again, a slow delivery, so Forrester just mixing up his deliveries quite nicely. So it's the end of his second over, and at the end of over number 3, it's 26 for 1. 14, or rather 12 runs coming off of that over. And when you have a player like Marlon Richards in your team, pretty much the same way that we saw best motors with Raymond Reefer, they're so experienced that quite often you'll see even the captain of the team checking in on him to make sure that everything is everything, and obviously looking for advice. And there he goes again. This could be out. And he takes it. That's a good catch. He moved a bit late, but he probably took a while to see where it is. And Kofi James will have to go for 13. Good catch out in the deep. So Justin Jagisa takes the catch. And of course, the bowler is Vishan Jagisa. But what it means is 26 for 2 now. And that's just what the doctor ordered for the Preysal outfit. Remember, they won the toss and opted to field first. So they're trying to justify that decision by trying to limit their opponents. More importantly, to take early wickets and try to hem them back as much as they possibly can. But what a splendid catch that was. It really looked like he left a little bit late, almost like he didn't pick it up. But it was hit so hard that even with a late start, he was able to adjust, come forward, and took it just above the ankles. And as a bowler, that's what you like to see from your fielders. And immediately he is off the mark, Videsh Sukai. So Lewis it is now, who is facing from this end for the first time. And the long off, the long on, and the deep mid wicket, those are the two men out in the power play. Just look at the way Lewis holds the bat, almost like there's a kind of disdain. The way he's everything, all his movements are deliberate. And he was trying to be cute there and almost got an edge. Because there's not much turn. Easy does it. Once it's played into that space there, that's a ready-made single. What Lewis has to be mindful of is the lack of pace sometimes from the spinners. And when he's trying to play that flick shot, he's trying to flick the ball to the onside, turning the face of the bat. And sometimes when you turn it too early, you could spoon a simple catch either into the onside or back to the bowler. The fourth over comes to an end, 28 for 2 at the end of it. So not a bad start. In fact, both teams will be happy with their starts, although you'd have to say that Central Sports Yorkshire would probably be slightly disappointed having lost 2 early wickets. But I'm sure they will want to. So Justin Gangu will take the responsibility himself. as he comes into the attack now, replacing Forster, who bowled 2 pretty decent overs. Although he leaked some runs in the second over, that slower ball troubled all the batsmen who faced him. And again, Upton to play off the back foot, almost as if he's trying to see how much purchase or how much spin Gangu could get out of the surface. And so I'm sure that first one didn't spin much, so he's probably going to put that in to memory. And he's probably now going to be watchful to see if it's more of the same, or is it now that he's going to unload? And you don't want to give him that. That's really a gift. Once it's short, he is so strong that even when he miscues it and he hit that one kind of like the toe of the bat, and he probably didn't feel confident that he had hit it well enough. When you look at it, the ball sailed out the ground quite easily. And so he's really a strong man. Look at how much bigger than Sukai he is. So the umpires while the two batsmen are discussing, they're trying to retrieve the ball. Whoever thought you'd come to the Oval and you would lose a ball and you have to search for it. But it's actually happening. But I think they retrieved it now. We normally endure that kind of a delay at the National Cricket Centre because sometimes the ball would go down in the bushes and it might take a while to locate the ball. But here at the Oval, you don't normally associate that kind of happenstance with the Oval, but it happens, and as we saw there, it took them a while to retrieve that ball. So now, Gangu, what can he do now differently? And again, he's on the short side, allowing Lewis to just stand there and try and hammer the ball. And they're going to get a quick single again. Gangu has to be careful. He's bowling that ball outside the off stump, and he's bowling it slightly short. And even though Lewis hasn't been able to really spunk it through the offside, you're inviting in that shot. Sooner or later, he's going to play it off the middle of the bat. Good cricket, good shot, well fielded. Easy call for the umpire. started wide down the leg side, stayed wide. I don't know if he was anticipating that the batsman might have maybe tried to jump down the wicket or do something untoward. And again, this time it eludes the keeper. And it's gone all the way for 4 wides. So score pushes on to 40. 40 for 2 it is. We're in over number 5. 1 ball left in this over. And they're going to have to do some work here. But Lewis does well enough. And they're going to get more runs because it hits the keeper's gloves. He couldn't accept it. And it ricochets from him. And it goes for 4. Talk about fortune favoring the brave there. You look at it, they ran the single quickly, well enough. And then they quick release, but the keeper doesn't haul it in. And Aaron Banke concedes to buy the extra runs. And again, that one, what they ran a single. They were going for the single. And then they got the 4 over throws. So the score pushes up now after 5 overs to 46 for 2. And Marlon Richards is now going to pick up the attack. So they're now trying to make sure that they get the field placings just right for the former TNT opening bowler. Trying to get himself loose there, right, wringing his arms. And that's well played, but it was a difficult delivery because it jumped at him from a decent length. Had to stay on top of it, and he did that well enough. It's 47 for 2 now. Canalo is doing the smart thing here, trying to milk this as much as he possibly can until he gets something that he feels confident he can hit. He's gonna have to hurry again, and because nobody is backing up, he elects not to throw the ball. This is really a matchup that you're looking at here to see how Lewis will fare against Marlon Richards. And here he goes again, trying to turn the delivery on the onside. When he could very well just play it straight. Don't go across the ball. So the 50 is on the board as well. 50 for 2 in the 6th over. Almost off every ball, they're able to just manipulate the ball, rotate the strike. Richards probably trying to slip in a quicker one there, maybe a little bouncer, but it was badly lined. Lewis spotted it. More discussion taking place. Strengthening of the offside field. They have a nice ring on the offside. Marlon Richards not giving him deliveries that he can probably just easily come forward and drive or cut into the vacant positions. But at the end of a decent first over from Marlon Richards, and at the end of it, it's 52 for 2. Central Sports Yorkshire after they were put into bat by Preysal. So Gangu is going to continue from the top end or the commentary box end. Jerry Gomez media center end. And Lewis is looking for a possible second, but good fielding denies him that opportunity there. Akshaya Prasad getting involved, getting into the play. Now again, trying his best here, but going right across the line of the ball. Really flirting with danger there. And that started wide, and he just left it. He almost like he didn't know what to do with it because it was so wide. And then they're trying to see if he could get under it, and he does. So again, another batsman showing impatience here and paying the price. He goes for 9, Sukai. And Gangu has his man. So it's now 55 for 3 now. So Sukai, the man to go. Already we saw Ethan Gibson out for no score. Court Richards on the boundary, ball forced up. Then Kofi James came at 4. He came and went. He was 13. He made 13 rather. And we just saw Vidish Sukai caught in the deep for 9. The big fella comes there, and this is really a sight to behold. When he strides across the turf and he starts to wield the bat. Riyad Mohammed. So 55 for 3. And this is again trying to turn the ball. That hit the edge. There's no slip. But it hit enough of the edge to take it away from the keeper. And down to the third man boundary it goes, which is unprotected, really. That fine anyway. And there's a short third man, but that man really didn't have a ghost of a chance cutting that off. If they hurry, they might get a second. But yes, they're going for it. He's going to have to hurry. And he gets there. That's good running. Again, Riyad Mohammed. Scores. So Riyad Mohammed. Really a prolific scorer at the youth level, secondary schools cricket. And again, they might be tempting a second run. And this time, Lewis, though, is not too happy. And he puts up that big hand as if to block the space so that Mohammed can't see. And to tell him no. And the over comes to an end. 62 for 3 after 7. So an interesting battle here, and of course the man at the key that is key to it all is Kenal Lewis, the big fella. See him there just striding around. I wonder how heavy that bat is. I wonder if I could actually pick up that bat. I might be able to pick it up. I don't know if I can make a shot with it. And the wicket actually looks like they were rolling the wicket for a long time. There was a bit of rain before the start of play, hence the reason why we had a slight delayed start. So we do apologize, but it's because of the rain. The covers were on, and we saw the ground staff rolling the wicket. The wicket looks nice and shiny. Looks like how Sabina Park used to be a long time. Probably not as glossy. And Richards again asking an awful lot of the keeper there, Banque, just to try and keep it. From the time it started, look how that ball swung, and it just kept going. Good effort on the part of the keeper to at least get a glove to that. That could so easily have gone into the boundary at fine leg for 4. But you never know how they will stack up when it's all said and done. But this is the wicket that they need here now. If they could get him, they'll feel it's like mission accomplished. And Marlon Richards is the ideal man for the occasion. But here is Lewis again, trying to just flick the ball. I really wish he would not try to flick it, but hit it. Or just block it. Don't try to flick it, because he's seen the gap on the onside. And maybe just turn the face of the bat, but don't flick it the way he's doing. Here he goes again, getting one going down the leg. Does a nice little pirouette like a ballerina. And I know you can't picture that one, somebody the size of Lewis, a ballerina. But he did well to get inside the line of it and allow it to go under his armpit. Goes for a little walk here now. Marlon Richards bang on target, and that has really been his strength over the years. He's been a nagging type of bowler, good line, good length. And even though he came into the national team late, it is again, this should be 2 runs comfortably. And nothing the 2 men out in the deep could do about it, because it's so big, there's so much acreage out there that they really have to run and run hard just to try to get to the ball. And we do have a slight drizzle. Like I was just saying, we had rain before play actually started. And here we have a little drizzle, but it might be a little cat and mouse scenario. Although the umpires, I would imagine, would want to take every precaution and not allow the wickets to get too much of a soaking. So they will take the players off as the rain is back with us to just about 5 minutes to 4 o'clock. So we have a little rain delay. So while the players make their way off, let me just quickly remind you, it is 66 for 3 at the moment after 7 overs. 7 overs and 3 balls. So Lewis on 23 and Mohammed on 7. And so hopefully this delay is not going to be a long one. You could see the ground staff bringing the covers on, as they are very competent ground staff. They know exactly what they're doing and what is required. And they're in that process now. So as soon as we're able to get some kind of confirmation that play will resume, we'll come back. So as we leave you for the moment, remember, Preysal won the toss, opted to field first, so they inserted Central Sports Yorkshire, and since that, Ethan Gibson went without scoring, caught off the bowling of Forrester for 1, which was 1 for 1. Kofi James followed him for 13, caught Justin Jagisa off the bowling of Vishan Jagisa, 26 for 2, and then 55 for 3 when Videsh Sukai went for 9, caught off the bowling of Gangu. So that's the situation. Lewis is not out on 23, and Riyad Mohammed is not out on 7. And again, as soon as the umpires have said play is possible, we'll be back with more. So until such time, stay close. We're here with us on 360 as we continue to cover the TTCB T20 Festival 2026. Good news as we welcome you back here to the Queen's Park Oval, and the rain has subsided, and the players are back out. The sun is also trying to peek out as well. The caution is that there is a bit of heavy clouds about, so don't be surprised if we have a further interruption as we go through today. As the situation is, remember they went off at about 3:55. It's now approaching almost 4:30. It's about 4:28 at the moment. So just over 30 minutes, 33 minutes or so would have been lost. No indication of any reduction in overs or anything like that. So here's Richards almost sneaking through there, Lewis. And to his credit, though, he does try to play the ball very late when he's defending. Look at his head right over the ball, trying to play it as late as possible. Oh, that's a good delivery to start things up here by Marlon Richards as he looks to complete the 8th over, his second. And again, if they run hard, they'll get a second run, and they are comfortably too, because the fielders on the onside are basically boundary riders out there, and it's easy pickings. For the batsmen, once they're able to run, what they probably need to, the umpires probably have to look at is to not have them run on the pitch. And that's another delivery going down leg, and there is that little ballerina stuff from Lewis, the big fella showing how nimble he is on his feet. Just getting inside the line and allowing the ball to go past him, which is really the correct way or the orthodox way of playing fast bowling. And again, they're going to go for a single. He's going to have to hurry. And Marlon Richards tried to pick it up, then didn't want to get in the way of the wicketkeeper. But at the end of it, they're able to scamper through for a single. 71 for 3 as the over comes to an end, the 8th over. But as you would have seen there, the ground staff is at the ready with the covers because there is a hint of rain again. So we only got 3 deliveries completed, and the players, unfortunately, are going off again. So at just about 4:30, the players are off once more for rain. And so they've just been able to add a couple of runs. In fact, they've been able to add 5 runs in those 3 deliveries, and but it's the same scoreline. Lewis has taken his score now up to 27, and Mohammed is still on 7. He hasn't faced. He didn't face a ball when they came back out, but now they're trotting off once more. So it must be very disappointing for the players. As you can see, there's a bit of breeze around, so hopefully that will blow the clouds away. It's the Queen's Park flag, as the Trinidad and Tobago national flag, fluttering there, stretching out nicely in that little breeze. But the umpires operating on the side of caution. They've taken the players off again. And you look at some of the players in the distance, they seem reluctant to go into the dressing room because they don't think the rain is falling all that heavily right now. and probably would have been happy to stay out there and play. I suppose when you play in your villages and at home, you would play through rain, heavier rain than this, but the umpires obviously are thinking of the damage it could do to the field and the adjacent wickets. Remember, they're using different strips on different days, so if the other ones get damaged, then that could have an impact on tomorrow's matches or all subsequent matches. So they um, have done the smart thing and brought the covers back on, even though the rain is just drizzling at the moment. It isn't really, as I say, pelting down in local parlance. So that is the situation for us here at the Queen's Park Oval. Unfortunately, the rain is back with us, and the covers are back out in the middle. Just 3 balls bowled, so they have completed 8 overs, and they were able to add 5 runs to that tally. So it's now 71 for 3 after 8 overs. With Kenal Lewis on 27 and Riyad Mohammed on 7. So that is the situation here. We will just monitor it, and as soon as there is a possibility of play, we will be able to bring it to you. But as we leave you, could tell you that it is getting a little bit heavier. That drizzle is becoming it's coming a little heavier now. It's coming a little sharper. So we're not sure how long we might be away for, but stay close. We'll be back to the Queen's Park Oval. Welcome back. We have good news and great news, if you know what I mean. We all set to go again. Hopefully, will be a little bit longer this time. And so it's just about 5:10. We went off at 4:30, so we've lost another 40 minutes or so. So that would be 40 minutes. Add to the 33 minutes that we lost earlier. And so we've lost just over an hour of playing time. And the indications are that the game has now been reduced to a 12 overs a side affair. And there he goes. The big man hits this high and it's gone. He didn't middle it, but he doesn't have to. He is so powerful. Ashkaya Prasad served up a real doozy there, and he just hammered it out the ground. And again, and that's another one that is traveling one bounce into the extra cover boundary. And remember, they've already had 8 overs. So now they only have 4 overs remaining in this innings. And I was just making the point that Lewis is just going to go berserk. He's probably going to swing at everything. And if the bowlers are not careful, he can basically destroy the attack. He is that powerful and he's that skillful. And so it is 10 runs off the first 2 balls after the resumption. And this one chokes him a little bit. They've gone for 1. They might actually go back for a second run. They're going to have to hurry. And he does get 2. So that's 12 from the first 3 balls after the resumption. So you get the idea. They have to get a move on here and try and post some kind of a target. It's up to 83 now for 3. 12 overs maximum. There he goes again. There's a man out there, but it's going to drop well short of him. And they're going to go back for a second run. He's have to hurry, Lewis. And this time he is short, trying to get back there. And for a moment he hesitated. And maybe just that hesitation is what proved to be his undoing there. So it's now 83. I think they completed the first run, so that'll make it 84. And his total should now be 40. But he goes run out for 40, and it's 84 for the loss of 4 wickets. So this really was that's a big moment there, because he was threatening to really just take the game by the scruff of the neck. So Nicholas Ali is making his way out. So a big blow there for the Central Sports Yorkshire team, and because the longer Lewis stayed at the crease, the more likely this score would balloon in dramatic fashion in the last 4 overs. You just saw the intent. He took 12 off the first 3 balls, and he was looking for more. So the first delivery to Nicholas Ali is wide. And again, so twice now, he failed to connect. And as the over comes to an end, so 9 completed. And at the end of over number 9, it is 84 for the loss of 4 wickets. Remember, it's a 12 overs a side affair, so they still have to try to add as many runs as they possibly can in these remaining 3 overs. And like I said, it would have been a whole different attitude in that dressing room if Lewis was still out in the middle. But he has since departed via the run-out route. And it's up to Riyad Mohammed and the rest of the gang now to try and see if they could make up. So Vishan Jagisa is 1 over, just 2 overs, 10 for 1. And that's a good shot. It's into the gap, and it's almost beat his man, who did very well to reach back and really stop that ball from going into the boundary. He went slipping and sliding out there. And just as he was about to slam on the brakes, he actually picked up a little bit of a skid, but he did very well to get down and prevent it from going into the rope. Saved 2 runs. And here's another one, just dropping short. And he thought about maybe coming forward, but then at the last minute he opted to allow it to bounce. So this could be a very interesting last 18 deliveries or so. Well, it's down to 16 now because 2 have already been bowled in this over, number 10. And might have been a touch there, so leg or wide signal by the umpire. I thought he got a touch, and the bowler is actually suggesting that, but you could see a little deflection, and so it should have really been a leg by, and that's what the bowler. And there again, there's a little bit of a misfield. The ball is probably a little bit damp in the outfield, so you really have to keep your eyes on it all the way through. So it's tucks in for the bowlers, tucks in for the fielders as well. Here they go again. This one is in the air, should be caught. Somebody's getting under it. He cannot hold on to it. They're going to get another couple. So as long as the runs keep coming, that's all that they're interested in. 93 now for 4. Really should have been taken. He did all the hard work. He got there, and he just put it down. And this one is going to be caught. Marlon Richards is there, and he takes it this time, makes no mistake. And that is the end of Riyad Mohammed. He goes for 14. Caught by Richards. Off the bowling of Visham Jagisa. And they've lost their 5th wicket now. It's 93 for 5. And when you really think about it, that's not really his game. He's more of a touch player. But in the limited overs game, sometimes you have to go for power, and that's what he was going for there. But for all intents and purposes, that's not really his strength as a batsman. So Riyad Mohammed makes his way away, and Akil Mohammed replaces him. And there he goes, and but again he cannot get it away. So good end to the over. Hand is stinging him though, but he will take it. Saved at least a run or two, possibly. So that ends over number 10, 93 for 5 at the end of 10 overs. So just 2 overs remaining, and this adjusted innings because of the 2 rain interruptions that we had. So 8 overs have been deducted. So it's now a 12 overs aside affair. So we have 12 legal deliveries left in this innings. And runs, that's going to go close to the boundary. In fact, it's going to go into the boundary. There is nobody on behind the wicket. The nearest man was at square leg, and that ball squirted away and went down to square leg, behind square, for a boundary. So now they've brought a short fine leg. In all honesty, that ball kind of went between the batsman's legs. It squirted out and went there. And they're going back for a second round. Again, a little bubble in the field. And they made them pay for it. But David, the guilty man there, had long off. So Akshaya Prasad. That's a good shot. That's going to go close to the boundary as well. It might get there. In fact, it does get there. Again, you saw the fielder trying to get around, but just couldn't get there. So the 100 is on the board. 103 for 5 now. So this is about building now. How quickly can you, how many runs can you add in the next 9 deliveries? Do that again. And there's the old-fashioned scoreboard where you have to like manually control the board. And trying his best here, but he misses out there. That's a full pitch delivery. But again, he was trying to go slightly across it and missed everything. Lucky he didn't lose his off stump. That's another wide, just fractionally outside that white line there, where the wicketkeeper's right boot was positioned. So that's kind of like the guide for the bowler. Look at where the wicketkeeper's right boot is. Just try to get it inside of that, not on the outside of it. And, well, I did say get it on the inside of his right boot, but that's too much on the inside. It's down the leg side. So, and he's having difficulty gripping the ball. It's clear to see. And again, they're going to try and challenge him. There was no bubble in the field by Marlon Richards. And so he quickly got onto it and released it as quickly as he possibly can. 107 now for 5. This is the penultimate over. Again, it reduced to 12 overs because of the 2 rain interruptions we've had. And that's a real miss there. And that's going to be a run out as well. So, unfortunately there, Nicholas Ali has to go for 11. He too goes via the run-out route. Again, the shot went directly to the fielder, and all the wicketkeeper had to do was accept the ball and remove the bails. So Ali goes for 11, and now it's 107 for 5, for 6. So in the midst of trying to score quickly, they also losing wickets along the way. Kivon Kalawan. So Clifford Calawan is the man replacing Ali. And it's going to be Marlon Richards who will bowl the final over. His 2 overs have cost him 14 runs. And they'll be looking to him to try and see if he could bowl another tidy over here. And that's exactly what they want from him. Dot balls, if possible. Very experienced. And even when he bowled against some of the better batters in regional cricket, he was a bit of a handful. He was never a tear-away fast bowler, but he did have the ability to move the ball off the seam. That's 4 runs. Just stood up there, just really asking to be hit. And boy, did he give it a good whack. And no need to move there, Akil Mohammed. Just planted and delivered. So the score now is up to 1-1-1. So Nelson is in the house. 1-1-1 for 6. And we're in the 11th over. Well, we're in the 12th over, rather. 11.2 overs. And that's more like it from Marlon Richards. Pitching right up with the batsman trying to swing at everything and going across the line every so often. He's maintaining his line. He hasn't really bowled on the stumps because I would think if they're going across the line, if they miss, he hits. This one is in the air. There's a man out there, but it's going to drop safely, and they're going back for the second run, and they'll get that too. So that's more like it. That's good aggressive running. pushes the score now into 113 for 6. So 2 legal deliveries left. Can they get it to 120? They have to hit a 4 or 6 off of these next 2 deliveries. And that's not going to hurt at all. Marlon is very happy with that. So now just the 1 delivery left. Can he get it away? They're probably going to be running like gangbusters. Even if he hits it back to the bowler, they'll probably try to squeeze a single. That's gone. That's a long way out. That's the way to finish the innings. And Richards just missing his length there. And because he doesn't have that kind of tearaway pace, that one was easy pickings there for Mohammed. And he just drilled it out of the ground over mid-wicket. And to bring the score up to 119 for 6. So Akil Mohammed finished on a high with a maximum. So he was not out on 12. And the innings closes at 119 for 6. It means that Preysal, they would need 120 for a victory. They have 12 overs in which to get those runs. We'll get their run chase when we come back. Welcome back. As you can see, the two batsmen are making their way out to the middle. And the number 12, of course, is Vishan Jagesa, who you saw bowling. So the two Jagesas out there in the middle, Justin Jagesa and Vishan Jagesa. They opened the batting for Preysal Sports Club. And this man, Aidan Ratcher, West Indies youth team standout, is all set to go. A young man with a tremendous upside, as they say. And in a lot of ways, remind you of Ravi Rampal, who had a similar kind of rise through the youth ranks. If anything, Rampal was slightly bigger in terms of muscular setup, but there are striking similarities between the two. So here we go as we get ready to see the action. Justin Jagesa is the one taking strike. And immediately they're off and running. They thought for a moment about going back for that second run, but Vishan was not interested. So Racha, who was probably didn't get the amount of wickets he wanted in the Youth World Cup, but he did have some good spells for the West Indies team. And I'm sure it's something that he can build on and continue to grow and develop. And this one is hit just over the head of the man at mid-off, and it's going to run into the boundary at long off. So Visham Jagesa picks up a boundary. Not the most elegant of shots, but there are no style points in a run chase like this. So Racha has decided he's going to go around the wicket now. And they're appealing for a catch at the wicket, but the umpire is not fazed by it all. So they're going to have to do it again. Racha is edging it, and it's dropped. Well, now it's safe to say he's not put there for a catch per se, because he's at the edge of just at the edge of the circle. As a short fine leg, but the ball hit him somewhere in the hand. He probably just closed his hand just as the ball arrived, probably closed it too soon, and now he probably hurt himself in the process. So he's like a fly slip there. This time it's called a wild. Racha not happy. So we're looking at young Aidan Ratchet. Earlier we saw Riyad Mohammed, another very talented youngster coming through the youth ranks, coming through the secondary school ranks as well. And really swinging for the fences there, but missing everything. So a really good over. And at the end of over number one of 12, 6 without loss. So Nicholas Ali is going to do the honors. He shaped well with the bat. Got to 11 before. He was one of 2 run-out candidates in the innings. Top scorer Kenna Lewis also was run out for 40, and Nicholas Ali, who was also run out for 11. The next top scorer, Kofi James, made 13, and Riyad Mohammed also made 14. So a lot of them got into double figures, and Akil Mohammed also got 12. So here we go now. Remember, it's a reduced affair, so guys are going to try to make hay early and not wait. And immediately they pick up a comfortable single, and not much the fielder could do about that. And that was Riyad Mohammed who was flying coming in there, but he couldn't do anything by way of preventing that single. And it's another good delivery. Now, because the ball is relatively new and the pitch is probably a little bit fresh as well, that one seemed to jump just over bail height. Again, there is no turn. That's the thing. He keeps playing for turn, but the ball is sort of following him. It is passing between the bat and the pad. So it's having real difficulty here getting the ball off the square. And that's not what they want at this stage. Remember, it's a revised target of 125 to win under the Duckworth-Lewis system. And they should be running hard here for a second run. And again, they turn it down. And it might be a good thing because Vishan Jagisa is having his issues timing the ball. In fact, he's having problems catching up with the ball. So they'll be hoping that Justin Jagisa has better luck. And there he goes. But they'll just get a single from it. So the end of over number 2, 9 without loss after 2. So not the start that they wanted. They were thinking after 2 overs, they probably would want to be closer to 20 than they are to 10. So these two definitely would have to pick it up in terms of the scoring. Ratcha just being given some last minute instructions there as to what is required. So here goes the youngster. And he saw the movement of the batsman, but he pushed it so wide that the umpire had no choice but to signal wide. And that's where the issue is. The both batsmen are not really using their feet to try to get anywhere into line. And as a result, quite often they're playing at deliveries, but they're getting there late. And we have another drizzle back with us. And that's a good shot. That could run away. In fact, it will run away. That's a gorgeous shot for 4. The one time he made that movement over, he got closer to the ball and really hammered it away. Look at how early he was across there and right in his wagon wheel, and he stroked it beautifully for 4. And this is not a good sign, and it's not a good sign for the batting team because they haven't really been able to score heavily. Here they go again. This one is in the air, but it's going to drop safely. And they want to go back for a second run, and that would have been suicidal. 15 now without loss. This is over number 3. Just to do a quick comparison. At the end of over number 3, it was 26 for 1. So they have to really get a move on here. So from looking at the Duckworth Lowers, the pass score is 25. And right now they're at 15. So they're some ways behind where they need to be. Yeah. And that one is signaled as a wide. And Racha was pitching up on that occasion. So that would help. It's up to 16 now. Again, change of pace there. And the batsman was swinging for all it's worth, but the ball was nowhere near the bat. And another dot ball. And that's the 3rd dot ball of this over to go along with the 2 wides. And a wide is signal. Now the wicketkeeper is claiming a catch, Gomez. But the umpire's not buying it, and he's given the 6. So he still has 1 legal delivery left in the over. And he'll have to do that one again. So, can he get his concentration back here? That was the appeal earlier. The ball was close to the bat, but I'm not sure he got a touch on it. Here's another wide. So all of a sudden it's up to 19 now. Remember, they needed to be at 25. So could you imagine he hit a 6 here? So Ratcha just kind of losing the plot here a little bit. So a slower delivery again could change a pace on his part. And that completes the third over. And it's 20 for no loss after 3. And consider 11 runs came off that 1 over. Most of them were extras, wides in particular. There was the boundary, that brilliant shot that came through extra cover. But after that, it was just a succession of wides. So what we do have here is the wicketkeeper, Gomez, the substitute, is out there keeping wicket. And there was a little bit of turn there. Vishan was trying to hike it through the onside, and the ball spun away from him. Actually bit in the wicket. And again, it's really swinging and swinging hard, but not making any contact at all. Ali again, not giving him much pace to work with. So obviously he's trying to apply some power himself, but not able to catch up with the ball as well as he would like. 34 is a par score. That's well played. That's going to run away for 4. That's more like it. And Nicholas Ali just a little too short and too leg side on that occasion. And he just helped himself there to that boundary. So that will push the score up to 25 now. So you could see Gomez trying to shift the fielders around, but I don't think they're seeing him. And again, and a good bit of football there, and just preventing that ball from going down the hill. That could have easily run away. So Vikash Sukai, and now he's feeling the pinch there from that bit of football. And they sent him for a jog, jog to the right, then jog to the left, and then back to the right now. All of that with a painful leg. And that 2 is going to run away for 4. Hit beautifully. It was uppish, but at this stage, it doesn't matter. Once it hits the fence, and that's all that matters. And that will complete the 4th over. A brilliant shot. 2 good shots. Boundaries with both of them. One to the leg side, one to the offside. And they'll take that 30 now without loss after 4. So they're a little bit closer to where they need to be. And again, it is Justin who's doing the heavy lifting. He's up to 13. Vishan is on 11. So Clivon Calawan is going to come into the attack now. So Cleveland Calawan is going to operate from the Jerry Gomez Media Center end. And he'll be bowling first up to Justin Jagisa. Justin Jagisa. They go quickly for one. They'll go for the second run. And he tried to go the long way. So it's going to be very interesting if they leave the field as is. There's that sort of short third man, like two of them, a couple meters apart from each other, just at the edge of the circle. And we've seen a proliferation of wides all of a sudden. And that's partly because bowlers are probably having difficulty gripping the ball as they would normally. And remember, when the ball, the field is a little bit damp, and when the ball squirts along the ground, it will get some moisture on it and make gripping it a little bit difficult. So 33 without loss, and under the duck with Lewis at the end of this over, they should be, what, 44? So they're 11 away from where they need to be. And again, but the bat was clearly hitting the ground, and umpire is convinced. No, he didn't give that as a wide. That's because the batsman was right across there, and he just missed the ball. So this is the critical over. In the air it goes, but it's going to land safely. The important thing is that he didn't let the ball elude him. Once he wasn't going to pick it up or try to catch it, the next best thing was to just relax and allow it to spin, and then you react to that. But he kept coming in, and then once the ball spun, he was in no man's land. Oops, there we go. Whoopsie. And again, that's a good hit. That's going to go just over the ropes at long on for 6 runs. And why I said that this was the critical over, they need to be at 44 at the end of the 5th over. They're up to 41 now, and they have 2 deliveries left in this over. Or 1 delivery, I should say, left in this over. So he needs to avoid a boundary. That's beautifully played. That could run away for 4 runs. And that is 4 runs indeed. So now they're up to 45 now at the end of over number 5. And at the end of 5 overs, when the Central Sports Yorkshire batted, they were 46 for 2 after 5 overs. And what it means is that we have 5 overs, so that will constitute a game. So even if the rain comes and for whatever reason play cannot continue, and with the Duckwood pass score after 5 overs at 44, they would be 1 ahead if the game would end right now. It's 45 for no loss. And this is these two really struggled to get the ball away earlier. Now all of a sudden they've picked up the tempo nicely. And really making it pretty. So Anil Ruplal. And that's gone. That's gone. There's a man out there sitting under it, but he cannot. He does well. He keeps it in the field. He couldn't catch it, so he did the next best thing. He just batted it back in play and limited them to just the one run. Actually, I think they might have completed two. Yeah, so they went back for the second run. He wasn't sure how close he was. Here's another one. This one, he could be out caught this time, and the catch is taken. So there was Visham Jagesa going for another big one. He goes for 11. And they finally have the breakthrough. So Ruplal comes on and gets the wicket. And it's now 47 for 1. Sachin Sicharan comes in at number 3. And of course, it's a clear mandate to get on with things and keep the scoreboard ticking over. $47 for 1 at this stage. They need another 78 runs. They have 40 balls in which to get those runs. Actually, he's wearing the number 10, but I think that was the number that was allocated to Karim Bokas. That's a quick delivery. And for a new batsman, first up to get a delivery like that is so quick, it's difficult to catch up to that because you're now adjusting. And again, and this time it's called a wide. So 48. And they should get a couple here. They go for one quickly. They return though. They cannot release it. That's Riyad Mohammed. He had it in his hands, but like a hot potato, he just kept juggling it. And he couldn't release it. So the 50 is on the board now. 50 for 1. There he goes. 1, 2, 3 ups. The Butterfingers. And that's a good shot. And he's out caught. He was trying again to go over the fence, but he goes for 2. And Anil Ruplal doing the business. So Ruplal has 2 wickets to his name. It's 50 for 2 now. So Akshaya Prasad is making his way out into the middle now. You notice that the big fella is not out on the field, Lewis. And Kalawan took a really well-judged catch out in the deep. So Akshaya Prasad is out there now. He probably should try to get a boundary or 2 runs at least so that his partner could get strike first up. Justin, who has been hitting the ball well, he's 27, but he's at the non-strikers end at this time. And they should come back for 2 runs. In fact, they will get 2 runs quite comfortably. And so immediately he is off the mark. So 2 runs to bring it to 52 for 2 now at the end of 6. So that the halfway stage. So they have 36 balls to get the 73 runs for a victory. So now the bowlers are under a little bit of pressure as well because they need to make sure that they don't spray the ball around too much and that they don't serve up too many half volleys because the batsmen are swinging at everything right now, especially Justin Jagisa. He's determined to get these runs. Takes a quick look at the field, and there is a short fine leg and there's a deep square leg, mid wicket on the boundary, a long on, long off, a deep extra cover. There's nobody out square. There is a man just at the edge of the 3 of them actually. And they're going back for the second one. The return is like a bullet down to the wicket keeper. So just a 1 run. And now the Duckwood, the pass score would be 65. So they're some ways away from where they need to be, another 12 runs or so. And so again, they have the 3 men standing just behind on the offside. And that was a big miss there. He should have really put that away. So I don't understand why the bowler is bowling left-arm orthodox Nicholas Ali, and he has the field. Those three men there, they haven't moved for any of the three deliveries. Make that 4. And neither one of them have been involved in this over so far. So Ali will come back around the wicket to the right-handed Justin Jagisar. Edging and could only get a single there. So he was again trying to hit it very hard, but luckily at least he got a touch and he got a single. 61 for 2. And transfer possibly second, but they may have to be mindful that he has a bullet arm, and there is an appeal for a run out, but he did make it. See how he went skating in there to avoid being run out, and did very well indeed. It's another fine return, but just short. 63 for 2 at the end of 7. So they need another 62 runs. And they have just these 5 overs. So they have 30 balls to get these 62 runs. Nicholas Ali's 3 overs have cost him 24 runs. So Anil Rupnarain. So Samuel Rupnarain is coming into the attack now. And that's a delivery just again attacking the pads. Luckily, didn't get any bat onto it, so it didn't have that ping off the bat that could have taken it past the man at that short fine leg. So here we go again with the 3 men in that behind the bat on the offside. So there's a short third man, there's another one, and then a short backward point. And swing and a miss. So Akshaya Prasad trying to repeat. Now that's a short boundary. So he obviously fancies his chances on that side. And why not? But this time he's going the long way. That's a great shot. That's 6 runs. He got to the pitch of it and didn't miss out on this occasion. A real half volley there right under his eye lines, and he just smacked it. So Central Sports have to be careful here because they have to find ways to try to limit the scoring and don't allow the batsmen to tee off as readily as they're doing right now. Although they're some distance away, they still need another 53, but they have 26 balls to work with. And they're thinking possibly of a second run. No, they'll settle for one. And one is all they'll get from it. So apart from the 6, this is not a bad over. They all count. That's a wide. 74 for 2 at the moment. The pass score is 76, so they're right there. And that will help. So Preysal just finding ways to sort of hang around here right now. But they need somebody to come and give them a real boost of run scoring, and they need it quickly. So that is the end of the over 8 completed, 76 for 2. So 13 came off of that over. So that's not a bad production, but they need a couple of bigger ones, maybe a 20 or more in one over. That would bring down the equation substantially for them and make it more manageable. So they're right on the pass score here under the Duckworth-Lewis method. That's 76 for 2 after 8 overs. But again, they need another 12 plus. It's 49 they require from 24 balls. So they really have to keep looking at that scoreboard and just keep shrugging away. They're seeing what the calculations are saying to them. So the pass score now is 87. So Anil Ruplal is going to continue. He had those 2 wickets in his first over. 2 for 7. And that one is cracked down the ground. But they'll only get a single. And that's all they wanted. Because now they have the left-handed Akshaya Prasad on strike. Can he really do something here? There is a short fine leg. He's hit this in the air, but it's going to fall safely. And they're limited to just the 1 run. So this young man, Anil Ruplal, 2 for 9. He's in the second over. And got away with that one there. That was a rank long hop that the batsman, again, in his desire to apply power. This one is in the air. He could be out caught. And it's taken just low down, just trying to get there. But Justin Jagesa goes for 31. And that's the important wicket because he looked the most dangerous of the lot. So Sukai taking that catch. And Ruplal picks up another pepper. So he has all 3 wickets to fall. So 78 for 3 at the moment. And they need 47 runs, but they have 20 balls in which to get them. And the big fella has arrived at the crease. So this is set up nicely for Marlon Richards. He does have the ability to strike the ball. And I think they're going to need him to do something special with the bat tonight. So another single. So that's not going to hurt them right now. That's what they could live with that. So just the 3 singles, a dot ball and a wicket. 2 dot balls really in the over so far. Just the 1 ball left. 79 for 3. And that's a good hit down the ground straight as you like it. And that's 4 runs. So that spoiled the over just a little bit, but they will take it as it goes up to 83 now for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of over number 9. So again, they're just 5 runs behind where they needed to be. It's 88 would have been the pass score. So they still need 42. They have 18 balls to get those runs. So Kofi James has come into the attack now. This is one of the imports. So again, the pass score at the end of this over should be 99. Right now, they're some distance away from that. They need 16 off this over just to be on par. They might get 2 here. Marlon Richards, however, is off strike, but this is the left-handed Akshaya Prasad. So he is going to want to be swinging to the fences. You see that there's a deep mid-wicket, a long on, a deep mid-wicket, and a deep backward square, but they're fairly close in. This is the short side of the ground. And there's a short fine leg. So he swings towards the leg. That might work out for him. Or he can do what he did in the previous over, which is hit straight. And that's gone. That's a gift. And he just put that away with a plum. A nice juicy full toss. Hit it into the night sky. And the thing is, you can't push the players further back. They're already on the boundary ropes. So he has to be careful here now, Kofi James. And they're going to go hard for the second run. No, they decide against it. And it turned out to be, that would have been a good decision. So Kofi James has to be on his P's and Q's here. He has to be careful. He can't gift them another juicy full toss like he did earlier. And this one is in the air, and it falls safely. Two fielders converge. And 2 runs the result. So 93 for 3 now. Another 32, but they have 14 balls to get there. They go quickly for the first one, and then they decide against challenging the arm, and they might get the. I don't understand why Kofi James just allowed the ball to go past him. He almost allowed the fielder, the batsman, to get a second run. So 13 balls left, 31 runs. And this is the matchup that they're looking for. He's trying to swing to the short side. There he goes. This one is gone. That's another brilliant shot. Again, coming down the wicket and getting it on the full. And for the second time in the over, he put it over the ropes for a maximum. So the 100 is on the board now. It's 100 for 3 at the end of over number 10. And that was a brilliant over. They got 17 from that over. And they needed to get to 99. They're actually at 100 for 3. So they're doing their part. They need 25. They have 12 balls to get those. That's very attainable under these conditions. And with the sort of the stronger bowlers out to the way, Aidan Ratcher is coming back into the attack now, but he had his own problems with wides in his last over before taking a break. And so he's going to be under the microscope here a little bit. And Marlon Richards is probably primed and waiting to try to upset the apple cart here. So Preysal have played themselves right back into contention here. They just need to just hold their nerve and finish the job. So remember, we do have another game coming up in a short while, the second game of a doubleheader. There's Ratcha, and he starts with a wide. That's not what they want at this time, because you don't want to give them easy runs or free runs, literally, because now they need 24 from 12, so they need roughly 2 runs a ball the rest of the way. And if you throw in a boundary or 2, that could make life very interesting indeed. In the air, that's 6 runs. That's gone. That's a good hit. Marlon Richards, stand and deliver. He jumped across to the offside because he knows Ratcha wants to pull outside the off stump, wide outside the off stump. He covered that, the angle, and then he just gave it a good whack. Over long off for 6. And that brings the equation down quite nicely now. 18 from 11. very attainable. And you could see everybody, James is there. They're all trying to encourage Ratcha here. I wonder if he's brave enough to bowl his slower one. But if he doesn't pitch it properly, that too could disappear. And there's another one. And there goes another one. Kofi James is there, but he takes it. Standing just about a meter inside the boundary, Kofi James accepts it gleefully. And Marlon Richards' innings comes to an end at 11. So it's 107 now for 4. And the key here is for Ratchet to try to finish this over with minimal damage. So Nathaniel McDavid is going to make his way to the middle. So 38 Akshaya Prasad, the number 7. But he's at the non-striker's end. And if Racha can keep McDavid quiet for the rest of this over, that would put all the pressure in the final over. And I really think they could afford to take one of the fielders out of that trio there and bring him inside the circle and in the extra cover region. And flicked away nicely. That is going to run away for 4. Down behind square it goes. He just picked it up and whipped it there. And Ratcha again probably was attempting to attack the stumps. But yeah, he is pitching it on middle stump. And you don't have the protection on the onside. All the protection is on the offside. So he has to persist with that off stump line, outside the off stump rather, and not worry about trying to bowl down the man, because what happened there is what is likely to happen. The batsman is just going to make a quick adjustment and brush him away to the onside. 111 for 4 now. So Nelson is on the board. The pass score is 111. It is 111 for 4. So they're right where they need to be. Racha bowls driven powerfully down the ground. And they'll have to settle for a single. So 112 for 4. So here we go now. 13 runs. And they have 8 legal deliveries in which to get those runs. How Racha would love to get back that previous over when he bowled close to 5 or 6 wides in that one over. And that is hit away nicely, and eventually a bit slip and a slide out there, and that goes for 4. So that brings it down even better now. Really, that should have been a single. And the ball not traveling too quickly, but it seems as if the big fella Calawan just kind of lost his bearings there. He went sliding and the ball just bounced past him, and it went past him for 4. That was the more critical thing. And that's another brilliant shot. That too goes away, and that goes for 6. So, well, what an over that has turned out to be. And at the end of it, Ratcha probably can't believe himself. That's a brilliant shot indeed. So at the end of that over, it's 122 for 4. And they need just 3 runs from the next 6 balls.
It's come down to the last over. This rain-shortened match, but certainly not short of excitement. Samuel Rupnarine, captain, gets in on the action. Certainly, he's going to have to hit his areas here. There's a bit of moisture out there, of course, due to the rain showers earlier. It's going to be extra difficult for him to grip that ball. 3 runs required from this final over. Looking to get that field pinpoint precise. Turning it away for 1. Quick single. Brings that required amount down to just 2. Passard, of course, here on 48. Make that 49. Well, just 1 run required. And on 49 he's at. But nonetheless, man of the match award. Fielders being brought in now. No one on the boundary. 2 fielders in the leg side. About halfway to the boundary, mid-wicket and mid-on. And he's bowled! Scores level at this stage. Nathaniel McDavid, though, is going to have to watch the final few encounters of this match from the shed. Samuel Rupnarine just wondering about what could have been. Iran Banki strides out to the middle. Just 1 run to be gotten for him. One of the harder runs that he would have had to have achieved so far in his young career. Now opting to have a bit of protection on the mid-wicket boundary. Left-handed Banke stands at the striker's end. Round the wicket, Ryan is going to come now. Offside field in the ring. He's able to get it into the hands. Past that fielder there. And that's going to be that. He certainly brought it down to the last over. Made us wait for that result. But in the end, Preysal Sports Club victorious by 5 wickets. Akshaya Prasad, 49 from 17. He'd certainly still take that at this stage, given that it's been a victory for them. So we will have that post-match presentation very shortly for you. And of course, the second match today between Fial Under-19 and Prisons will be underway probably a bit closer to 7:20, 7:30. So do stay tuned for that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again, congratulations to the two teams. It was a shortened game, but it certainly turned out to be a very exciting one indeed. Of course, this was a contest between Glowfrank Motors Central Sports Yorkshire and Preysal Sports Club. A big hand for both of them. Again, the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board acknowledges and will thank the Caribbean Premier League, Trinbago Knight Riders, the Queen's Park Cricket Club for their tremendous support of the Trinidad T20 Festival 2026 and their ongoing commitment to cricket development here in Trinidad and Tobago. At this time, we want to invite Mr. Nicholas Premchand, the Managing Director of Fell Footwear Clothing, to make the presentation of the Man of the Match Award. And that goes to Akshaya Prasad. Unbeaten 49 from 17 balls, 2 fours and 5 sixes. And his 2 overs cost him 27 runs. Can I ask Mr. Samuel Rupnarayan to step forward briefly? Tough one there. You seem to have it, and then it just kind of slipped through your grasp.
Yeah, you know, overs expected cutting here was kind of expected to us, you know. Still, I thought we had a decent amount of score, 120 was decent, but you know, so it goes. Cricket unpredictable, you know. I thought that momentum started to go the way and it has carried on, you know.
Oh, you felt at the halfway stage, you felt you had enough runs that you could probably defend it?
Yeah, the situation of the game, you know, firstly, when we was batting the wicket, probably was a little low, a little slower, a little more tacky to play shots, but in the end, you could see it, ball slide on better at night. So, you know, so it goes. You know?
All right, well, tough luck and all the best. Well played. And now let's get Justin Gangu to step forward, the captain of the victorious Preysal Sports Club team. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Thank you. It's very, very elated. You know, it's been a very difficult road for us so far. We've had some conditions that were kind of going against us, but we are very, very happy that we were able to come out on the victorious end tonight.
Of course, you have to thank this man, Akshaya. Brilliant effort with the bat.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, when given the opportunity, he showed his class and what he's capable of.
Okay. How you feel about the team and you're making progress, you feel?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're moving uphill, so it's very good for us. It's just about working on our mistakes, limiting the mistakes, and working on our strengths and improving on it.
All right, congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. There's the victorious captain. A big victory for Preysal today. And they, of course, will be hoping to continue in that vein. But don't go anywhere. We still have Game 2 coming up in a short while. Prisons will be in action against the U19s. We look forward to that in a short while.